They control with emotion. We reveal the pattern. Psych Atlas.
You don't need 10 years to see someone's character. You need pressure, success, a boundary, and one quiet moment they cannot rehearse. Most masks survive ordinary life. They smile through dinner, apologize on schedule, and say the right sentence when witnesses are nearby. True character leaks through smaller doors. How they react when you win, when you say no, and when someone weaker needs dignity. You are not searching for evil. You are searching for leakage. The tiny emotional residue people leave behind when their image stops protecting them. These are not games. They are stress points. Each one bends the ego until the hidden shape underneath begins to show under pressure. Today you'll learn 3 signals that expose character fast, without becoming cruel, paranoid, or blind to your own reflection again in the dark. The first signal appears in the moment most people mistake for love: celebration. Psychologist Nalini Ambady studied what researchers call thin slices, small fragments of behavior that can reveal social accuracy from brief observation, faster than comfort allows. The unsettling part is not that people hide. It's that they often reveal themselves before your rational mind admits what it saw. Machiavelli understood the same theater from another century. Public virtue can be a costume. Private reaction is the torn seam underneath. Signal 1 is deceptively beautiful: celebration. Do not watch what they say when you rise. Watch what leaves their face first. A loyal person may feel envy, but they still make room for your joy. A threatened person treats your victory like an accusation. The difference is subtle. One person returns to warmth after a human flicker. The other turns your good news into a quiet trial. True loyalty is not measured by who comforts you when you lose, but by who stays warm when you win. Here is the fracture. Your success does not create their resentment. It gives that resentment a mirror bright enough to see clearly. They may congratulate you, but their warmth arrives late, thin and strangely measured, like a candle fighting oxygen in a sealed room at midnight. You feel the temperature change. Then you explain it away, because admitting their envy would force you to change the relationship. And this is where the mirror turns. Sometimes you keep them close because their discomfort secretly proves you are moving upward. That is the first exposure. Not whether they clap, but whether your growth makes them smaller, colder, or quietly punishing in real time. The second signal is even quieter, because it begins with one word they were never prepared to hear: no. The second signal appears when you place a small boundary. Not a dramatic rejection, just a calm, ordinary no, spoken without apology. Most healthy people adjust. They may dislike the answer, but they do not treat your autonomy like an act of violence. A controlling person hears no as humiliation. Their face tightens, their kindness becomes conditional, and the old debt ledger suddenly opens. They do not argue with the boundary alone. They argue with the idea that you were allowed to have an inner life they cannot access. Watch carefully. The real test is not their disappointment. It is whether they try to make you feel guilty for existing separately. This is where many people fail themselves. They call it love, loyalty, or peacekeeping, when it is really negotiated self-erasure dressed as peace. A boundary does not destroy a relationship. It reveals what the relationship was secretly built to control. The third signal is power. A line often attributed to Lincoln says character is tested when a person receives authority over others. Whether or not the quote is perfect, the principle is ancient. Power removes the stage lights and shows the actor backstage. Watch how they treat the waiter, the assistant, the exhausted stranger, the person who cannot reward them or retaliate in any meaningful way. Small cruelty downward is never small. It is a preview, a weather report from the climate they will create when you are vulnerable. Some people are kind only when kindness protects their reputation. Remove the audience, and their manners lose their salary. The Ring of Gyges asked what a person would do if no one could see. Modern life asks the same question daily. When someone has power over the powerless, politeness is no longer evidence, restraint is. Now connect the three. Envy reveals how they handle your rise. Boundaries reveal how they handle your freedom under pressure. And power reveals how they handle someone else's weakness. Together, these moments form a cleaner portrait and years of charming words. Do not turn this into suspicion. One bad moment is data, not a verdict. Repeated patterns are the confession you cannot unhear. The dangerous mistake is explaining every pattern away because the person also has beautiful qualities. Many masks are beautiful by design. Once you see the pattern, stop begging it to become harmless. Your task is not revenge. Your task is distance without spectacle or apology. The real power shift begins when you stop trying to make the pattern confess. Distance does not need fireworks. Sometimes the strongest exit is quiet, boring, and almost invisible to the ego watching you. You answer less, you reveal less, you stop feeding the conversations where your pain becomes their private entertainment and evidence. This is not coldness, it is conservation. You are taking your attention back from a system that learned to spend it without consent. If they envy your growth, keep growing. If they punish your boundaries, make them clearer. If they abuse power, believe the preview. True authority is calm. It does not perform cruelty, chase closure, or announce transformation. It simply stops volunteering for the cage they built. But the darkest part of character reading is not what it reveals about them. It is what it reveals about you. But the final test points back at you. You also reveal character when someone wins, when someone says no, and when you hold power. If you have never felt envy, irritation, or the urge to dominate, you are not enlightened. You are simply unexamined. Own the shadow before it starts wearing your face. Awareness is not a halo. It is a blade turned inward first. That is how you become difficult to manipulate without becoming empty. You see the pattern, choose discipline, and leave cleanly when necessary. 3 things expose them: envy during your rise, rage at your boundary, and cruelty toward the powerless. The 4th exposes you completely. The diagnosis is complete. Now the only question is whether you will rule your shadow or let it rule you. If this made you see someone differently, leave a like before the feeling fades. Subscribe to Psych Atlas because the next mask we study may be the one you still trust. And if you recognized yourself in this, do not look away. That discomfort is not weakness. It is the doorway where real power begins.